G'day legends, happy Friday. It has been a wild week in the MMA news cycle, and I figured we could just take a little break from all the madness that is Conor McGregor and Bryce Mitchell nearly getting his naked ass beaten into just doing a good old tier list. Now, you've seen the tier list on the thumbnail, you know exactly what it is. Why isn't it here now? There we go. It is which one is the juiciest fighter that ever did juice. One of the most likely fighters on steroids right now. The CEOs of EPOs, yeah? Which ones are extremely likely to be on steroids? Which ones can you not really prove that are on steroids, but it's very likely that they're on steroids? Who is slightly suspicious, and who has the rig, the body, the fighting ability of somebody that is absolutely the reverse of being on steroids? You know, completely soy made. This is what we're going to be going with today as we kick in to UFC 318, looking into the weekend, boys. Let's kick it off, right? Like, what is a good example of, say, reverse steroids? Well, obviously, that would be something like Ian Gary. Layla, can I have some steak, please? I'm sick of eating nothing but soybeans. Layla, help me. Ian Gary has got so little testosterone in his body. There is no way that he is on steroids. It's impossible. Like, if his mummy, I mean, his wife, isn't going to allow him to even eat a steak, there's no way she's going to be allowing him to get injected with steroids or take those pills. Like, Layla's husband has got Ian Gary on a very strict cabbage, soybeans, corn only sort of a diet, and you can tell because the man's physique has got zero ripples in it, dude. The only injections that are allowed to be in Ian Gary's house are all the Botox that are going into Layla's face to keep that vampire looking nice and useful. I'm sorry, Layla. You didn't deserve that one. All right, next one up. Now, so what is a good we've started on the low end of the spectrum. What is a good high end of the spectrum? Let's go with none other than Brock Lesnar. Wait, which one's this one? My bad, Kayla Harrison. Hey, Amanda Nunes, I want to fight you next, man. Kayla Harrison is, dude. Listen, I'm not ashamed to admit it, right? I'm a man. I get up, I go to the gym. Kayla Harrison is bigger than me, bro. Kayla Harrison's deadlifting more than me, benching more than me. Don't laugh at me. She's doing more than you too, mate. Don't laugh at you. Listen, all right? Kayla Harrison is the biggest bloke in the gym, without an absolute doubt. I legitimately believe that Kayla Harrison versus Sean O'Malley today, on this very day, Kayla Harrison is walking out of that cage alive. I think Kayla Harrison absolutely smashes Sean O'Malley, man. She is bloody ripped, bro. She has got to be juicing. Otherwise, she is just a physical specimen of the gods. Brock Lesnar cheated on his wife at some point in the past, and Kayla Harrison is the little sperm that sped forward. That's what Kayla Harrison is, mate. Brock Lesnar's illegitimate love son. Next one up, Jared Cannonier. I'm going to put Jared Cannonier in slightly suspicious. There's something about Jared Cannonier that makes me think it's just genetics, but Jared Cannonier's getting on to 40 years old, and the dude still looks like an absolute monster. We're looking at no sag in the physique. We're looking at no loss of speed, power, accuracy, violence. Jared Cannonier is definitely in the slightly suspicious category. I don't know if he is juicing. Some people have just got that goddamn genetics, but Jared Cannonier is one of them, dude. However, Jared Cannonier is kind of similar to Khalil Roundtree. Now, with Khalil Roundtree, we've got to put him in very likely because he's popped. It was an accident. I didn't mean to pop. It was an accident. It wasn't an accident, mate. All right, again, you're like Jared Cannonier. You've got those damn good genetics, son. Those damn good genetics that are taking you way late into life. You have already popped. And the fact that we're just going to pretend that was an accident, I don't know about that, dude. I'm not believing these excuses from Jared Cannonier. Just like I am not believing that Muhammad Usman is a 100% natural athlete. It's just not possible. It is extremely likely. You know what? He might even be one of the CEOs of EPO. Yeah, Usman is extremely likely. It's not just the size. And the size of Usman is just untenable. But it's also the fact that the dude has got no cardio. The guy is the walking, living, breathing definition of Dianabol. And then when you look at his back knee as well, it is just riddled with it, mate. He looks like that Mo Usman's dad, who is a pharmacist, has spent his spare weekends being like, hey, Mo, go and stand by the fence. Go and stand by the fence. And then Kamaru Usman's dad, Mo Usman's dad, has just been playing the spare time by playing darts with syringes full of steroids, just playing darts on Mo Usman's back as a child. That's the only way Mo Usman's back could turn out looking like that. His traps are nearly above his ears, man. Look at the ear to trap ratio, right? Just look at like a normal human being, someone that absolutely has zero testosterone. Look at Ian Gary. Look at all the traps all the way down here. You could park a car between the top of Ian Gary's traps and his ears. Now look at Usman's ears and his traps, mate. They almost disappear into each other. This is real scientific I'm getting here. When you break down the trap to earlobe ratio, that sort of tells you if someone else is on steroids, you know what I mean? I just wish that all athletes could be as natural as the great Shamil the Blob Gaziev. If they were all as natural as the great Shamil the Blob Gaziev, the sport would be a lot better. I hate the fact that we've got a bunch of Mo Usmans pedaling about at heavyweight like we're in Pride 1. I want all of my heavyweights to look like the absolute dominating physique, the peak of male masculinity. That is Shablob. That's a new nickname. Shablob. Let's go with that one from now on. Like, that goes with Shablob Gaziev. Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is going into the CPO of EPO. I mean, they cancelled USADA. Yeah, they went, we need Conor to fight. USADA went, get him to piss in this cup without melting it. Dana White said, kid, the best I can do for you is to get another job. We're going to create a third-party testing agency. I'll organize it. I'll hire the person to be in charge of it. I'll tell them how to do the testing. It's going to be completely legitimate and third-party. We got to get Conor McGregor in here against Michael Chandler as quickly as possible. And then Conor McGregor goes and breaks his toe, and now he's definitely not been doing drugs ever since then. Just go and watch his BKFC press conferences. Just have a look at his phone and look at the photos that he sends to random rappers on the internet. Conor McGregor is 100% no longer doing any drugs, especially steroids, you know? I don't know about you, but my PB is 2.5 pounds, and by the looks of what Conor McGregor was lifting, there has got to be some Dianabol in his Diana bone. You know what I mean? There's got to be some in his big D bone, in his D weapon, the impregnator. There has got to be some Dianabol in that, because he is breaking PBs just with, you know, he's holding both of his arms in the air, but the third arm is breaking PBs. Next one up on the very likely, Bilal Muhammad. No joke, dude, Bilal Muhammad. Listen, where does this come into? But number one, it comes into the weird level of cardio that Bilal Muhammad has been able to get, but also his physique. If you check out his physique in his early days before he got into the UFC, he looked like just a regular bloke down at the beach, just, you know, the kind of bloke that was carrying a potato sack around his midriff, you know what I mean? That's the sort of look that Bilal Muhammad had. Like, he wasn't fat, but he was a bit dad bod. And then somehow, during his successful run in the UFC, he became shredded and shredded and shredded. To the point, like, if you wanted to get some chopped tomato for your sandwich, you could just throw it at Bilal Muhammad's and it would just pass his chest and slice itself up. That's how shredded Bilal Muhammad got. And it doesn't, like, it didn't happen, you know, through puberty. Like, it happened while he was 30 years old. Like a man's physical prime. He finishes puberty around 21 years old. Starts building into his physical prime from there. He entered 30, his physical prime, with that potato sack, you know, a bit of a dad bod rig. And then throughout his entire run through the UFC, as he has gone from 30 to 36, he has somehow become more and more diced. It's very likely that Bilal Muhammad has been doing a little bit of cheating over in Chicago. Just saying, like, the cardio, the improved physique, it's worrying signs for Bilal Muhammad. Same with Josh Emmett. Like, he's got the physique and the strength of a mountain troll. Now, I understand a big meaty hook is a big meaty hook, but either Josh Emmett has got very different genetics, and he might have deep south, you know, we, like, MMA YouTube likes to laugh at the Dagestanis, you know, for the inbreeding. Just a joke that goes around the MMA YouTube world. But there is something about Josh Emmett that gives off the deep south sort of vibes. You know, the Bible Belt. Well, my cousin's my sister. It gives off those sort of vibes. And I think he might have a little bit of those genetics in him. With how hard he can punch, and the fact that Ilia Topuria wasn't able to put him out over 5 rounds, but somehow Josh Emmett's cardio was able to go the entire 5 rounds while getting his absolute ass beaten, yeah, and mix that with his ungodly strength that comes through as well. We are seeing here a mix of the performance-enhancing supplements, I believe. It is suspicious. The only thing that is stopping it going from very likely, you know, why he is sitting in slightly suspicious, is because there could be the genetic factor. There could be the mixing going on in the deep south. He could be from a sunset town where you're not allowed to leave the town. It's like the Amish, you know, or the Mormons. Like, you better get to go and know your cousin. She gonna be your wife one day. Go and play nice there. Go and play nice with the cousins. That's what it seems to be like that's going on in Bryce Mitchell land. It's the only thing that saves him from going up one more into very likely, mate. Israel Adesanya grew a boob. He grew a boob and then just straight up knocked out Paulo Costa. He had gyno and knocked out Paulo Costa. And then when was asked about it, he said he was just going through some things, you know, like Chadwick Boseman. What a way to deflect the question. Extremely likely that Israel Adesanya is on steroids, or at least was on steroids during the peak of his championship reign. He went from being outboxed by Kelvin Gastelum to knocking out everybody that was in front of him to now being pieced up by Imavov. All while growing and losing a tit. Listen, if you don't want to believe in, there's absolutely zero chance that Israel Adesanya was on steroids during his peak. Santa Claus exists. Yeah? You went from not being able to outbox Kelvin Gastelum to being able to knock out everybody in front of you to now getting done by Imavov. All while peaking after an amazing kickboxing career while growing a boob. Just say it's very, you know, these are things that a noticer would notice. The CEO of APO is also Jon Jones. The most steroid twists ever failed in UFC history. Brother hid under an octagon for 8 hours to get away from USADA. If that was it alone, if the only story out there was Jon Jones hid under a training room's octagon for like 8 hours so that USADA wouldn't piss test him, that would be enough. But then there's the picograms, there's the pulsing picrometers, there's so much around Jon Jones. To this day, if a drug tester knocks on his door, Mr. Jones, it's time to piss in the cup again. He's raging out. There's only 2 things in the world that Jon Jones hates doing, and that is fighting the rightful contender and pissing in a cup when USADA is around. And being nice to his wife, and being serious about retirement. There's a lot of things that Jon Jones hates doing. They're annoying to him. Next one up he has reverse steroids. You know, Steve Erceg, if you lose this next fight, Steve Erceg might want to think about getting on the gear. Just for the Australians, maybe think about getting on the gear. You know what? Also, Amabayev as well to help with the cardio. You also might want to think about getting on the gear. Try getting on gear, but also while we're at it, can you please get on the gear? It'd be good if you would all get on the gear to try and help yourselves out, alright? Let's not forget, Sean O'Malley did pop. Sean O'Malley has popped before in the past. Is he clean, or is the UFC trying to help one of their superstars try and get back into the win column? I don't know. Maybe Sean goes in slightly suspicious. Kid's got great cardio. He beat up Cheeto Vera for 5 long rounds, and he only started to get better and better as time went on, and he does have a failed test in the past. Very suspicious is all I'm saying. Very bloody suspicious, as well as is Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler is like 38 years old and is insanely athletic for his age. Insanely athletic. Either this dude has got Jared Cannonier levels of clean living, which I don't know if he does, because he comes across as a sus guy to me. But here's my big argument. Not just the physique and the speed and the power and the cardio. He's already a cheater in the cage. He'll spit blood into the eyes. He'll fish hook the mouth. He'll eye gouge. He'll headbutt. He'll do do shots to the back of the head. He'll hook the gloves. Anything and everything that you can do to get the advantage, Michael Chandler will do. Yet for some reason, this 38-year-old shredded cardio monster is going to stop at steroids. Even though he'll cheat in every other way possible, it's completely unthinkable that Michael Chandler wouldn't take a little bit of EPO. I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it at all. Michael Chandler, extremely likely that the cheating doesn't just stop once Herb Dean calls the fight off. He probably goes back to camp and keeps cheating, but he's just trying to stay clean. That's all it is. That's all it is. Paulo Costa is memeing the entire UFC community into thinking he's not doing steroids by telling the entire community that he's doing steroids and constantly pulling out of fights whenever USADA asks for a test. I'm sick today. I can't come to this fight. I'm sick today. Oh, no testing at the 318? I be there. No problem. I be there. Yeah, Paulo Costa is very, very suspicious. However, he does miss weight. Yeah, don't forget, people forget, man, missed weight with Marvin Vettori by like 20 pounds. He does miss weight. So, is he just a dumb juice head or is he just a juice head? Cigarette de juice, you know? He's just laughing at us about how many steroids that he does. Just laughing at us about it. I think that'll do. I think that's a pretty good list. This is one of those lists where you could keep going on forever. The UFC, they're all on steroids, man. They're all on steroids. But that's that. If this is your first time here, g'day, welcome. My name is Dougie. I make an MMA video every single day of the week, and I try and go live at least 3 times a week, but it pretty much turns out to be every single day. Now, if you want to know when a video drops, or if you want to know when I go live, because that all happens at different times, I hit the notification bell down there and the subscription button to know when all that happens. Let me know down there in the comments. Who do you think I have misplaced here on this list? Have I treated anybody unfairly? Let me know about it. Let me know down in the comments. Like the video if you like the video. And if you're one of the writers of the channel, you're always there, you're always showing up, you're always commenting, you donate, you're one of the paying members of the channel, I appreciate you lot so much. Your names are up on the next slide. And until then, I will see you all in the next video. So yeah, goodbye.